Hello and welcome to Retrotainment. I'm joined again by my co-host, capital C, capital O, Greg. He has his letters backwards, but
capital O.
they're backwards, Greg. You're looking at them as yourself. You don't want to put them the other way.
I know.
But how are you doing, buddy?
My hands don't turn that way.
Just do them with your other hand,
bad,
you idiot.
Not too bad, mate. You?
Yeah, not too bad myself either. Definitely not bad after watching this film.
Yeah, well, this is a great way to build up to Masters weekend.
Yeah, I think so. There's not many golf films. Obviously, the one we're watching here is Happy Gilmore. There's not too many big golf films out there.
There's a few, but not in terms of comedy. Like Tin Cup is very good. Making Beggar Vance is brilliant with Will Smith and Matt Damon.
Oh no, but when I say there's not that many out there, there's a handful. That you'd consider even decent, and in comparison to everything else. But this is probably my favorite of them. I'm not a big golf guy. I like watching the end of the golf. I don't watch the 4 days of Masters. I just watch kind of.
So you'll be picking in on Sunday about 4 o'clock.
Yeah, I'll jump in and watch little bits of it here and there, But this film, Happy Gilmore, obviously released on the 19th of July in 1996.
Yeah, jeez.
We were only young lads then.
I was 5.
I wasn't too far ahead of you.
Great movie though.
One of my favorites. This
is his best movie. This is Adam Sandler's best movie.
I would say this is Adam Sandler's best film. Yeah. If people didn't see, just to give a quick shout out to Carl Sherlock on the Sherlock reel, I put in a big shift for this film to win the best comedy.
Which one? The best 90s comedy, yeah.
Best 90s comedy. I put in a big shift on this film because
spoiler if you haven't watched the show already. Happy wins.
It wins, as always. Happy wins. He doesn't lose, 55 critics on Rotten Tomatoes, as always. We have a quick look at that. 62%, quite low, I think.
Yeah, I can understand why.
Audience score 85%, which just shows the discrepancy. They're looking at certain things in the film, like continuity, how things work out, and audiences are just like, no, that was funny. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, it's the same as the Jim Carrey movies. It's
if you don't like him,
it's what would you say? It's kind of like just sit back, not care about a kind of comedy.
Yeah, turn your brain off, don't think about anything, and just enjoy it.
There's a slight story to them that you have to follow, and then that's it.
Yeah, there's a very small story. Box office of 41.2 million. So again, not a huge hitter, but this is relatively early on in Adam Sandler's career.
Is it his first one?
No, Wedding Singer would have been for.
Wedding Singer, yeah.
But yeah, it's not like after this one. I think he kind of hit the big time.
This one blew up, didn't it? After it came out of the cinema.
Yeah, I love the starting to this where it's him just talking about his dad and how him and his dad love hockey. His mum's a real bitch. She leaves, and you can understand that she's annoyed with the dad because he's so focused on hockey. She moves to Egypt, and then his dad dies, and
doesn't come back.
She doesn't come back for her son. She just forgets about him forever. But it's a real nice little introduction to who he is. He loves hockey and it's what he grew up with, and it's his and his dad's thing. Yeah, and he has to go to his granny's house after his dad passes away at the hockey game. And she comes out with the Gene Simmons with a big tongue. That's a great scene.
What a granny.
Yeah, it's a great start to the film, I think. It gives a quick explanation of why he loves hockey so much.
Yeah, and then it gives a run through of the jobs he's done.
Yeah, all of them with him putting something between his legs.
He was a plumber, and he puts the hose between his legs.
You're right. The only one he doesn't is the plumber one when he's the plumber, and you can just see his ass crack. But it's more than just a crack. It's the whole thing.
He was a petrol pump assistant.
Yeah, as a janitor, I worked at a petrol station, and then we eventually see his last job before.
Was him as a builder.
Him as on the building site firing the nail gun.
I'm not very good as a builder, but I had a pretty good shot with a nail gun.
Yeah, straight into the boss's head.
Yeah. Now, I might be wrong, but the boss in this, Mr. Larson, when he gets the nail in his head, I'm pretty sure he's the bad guy. Richard Creel, I'm pretty sure he's the bad guy from Police Academy. Remember on the roof?
I never really noticed that.
I'm just checking it here.
Yeah, he gets the nail in the head and he beats the ever-living shit out of Happy, and we see Happy in the
I got a couple of good shots in.
I got a couple of good shots in. I'm sure you did.
Brilliant.
But we see him. After this, we see him at the hockey trials, which he fails. Yeah, he has a great shot, great slap shot, but he can't direct it, and he can't skate. So he goes back to his apartment, having not made it, and bumps into his girlfriend on the
way out,
on like just coming out of the elevator, and she's like, "Yeah, I'm leaving." So he uses the intercom to buzz down to her, and he's like, "Oh, please don't leave me." She's like, "No, like I'm gonna leave you." He's like, "Yeah, well, those finger paintings that you brought back are shit."
Yeah, I'm sorry, babe, I didn't mean that.
Comes back and he's like licking the intercom and everything and singing down the thing to her.
I wanna kiss you all over.
And then we see an old Asian lady comes up to his room.
Vanessa. Oh.
But
and then it cuts to the next morning when the alarm goes off, or he gets a phone call from his granny.
Yeah, that she's been kicked out of the house. She owes the IRS $270K for not paying taxes.
The funniest thing here is when he's running out, the old Chinese woman, they came up to him. You don't want breakfast.
But like, his granny owes $270K for not paying her taxes. That's an insane.
Back taxes for 30 years or something.
Yeah, that's even at 30 years. That's an insane amount of back taxes to owe. Like,
yeah,
like that's.
The funny thing there is though, when you see that the moving lad taking the sofa out, everyone just jumps on it.
Oh, come on, dude, we're just trying to do our job.
The IRS man.
You hate me, don't you?
The IRS man.
I don't hate you.
Yeah. The IRS man, he gets thrown through the door. He hates me.
He hates me. Yeah. You have 90 days to come up with the money to buy the house back.
Which is fine.
Fine. So he sits down to watch he brings the granny to a care home because she needs somewhere to live. She insists on going there. He would have had her move into his apartment, but she said, no. Yeah, I'll go here. I can't invade on you. And we get our first introduction of Mister.
Oh, Mr. Lady, yeah.
Mister. Get me out of here.
And throwing the chips at her.
Take this and get out of my way. And then we get introduced to Hal,
the orderly.
Very sweet man. Very sweet man when we get introduced to him.
Absolute top drawer mustache.
Yeah, very sweet man when we get introduced to him. Oh yeah, I'll look after. He tries to bribe him with $1.
Yeah, I'm gonna give you it. No, you take that and I'll do it for free.
Yeah. And he's a very sweet man until Happy leaves, and then he's asked for a nice glass of. Can I get a glass of warm milk?
You can get a glass. Shut the hell up.
You can get a nice glass. Shut the hell up.
Either you go to sleep or I will put you to sleep.
Yeah, we really see what sort of guy he is.
Top drawer care assistant.
Yeah. But Happy goes back to to his granny's house and he wants to watch the hockey.
And the lads are taking the mick with the golf balls outside.
The lads are outside playing golf, and one of them goes to hit the ball and barely.
Playing is.
Yeah, I mean, how far does he get it? Like just off the tee?
About 4 yards.
Just off the tee. And then he says to Happy, if you can hit the ball further than that, I'll give you, we'll go back to work and you can watch hockey again. Now, the thing is, your man scuffed his shot. So as you said, it's about 4 yards off the tee. I don't play golf. I could hit the ball further than that.
You just have to hit it, yeah.
All you have to do is, hit it in any way and you'll win.
Keep your eye on the ball.
Yeah. Happy decides that, nah, I'll go for it. So he takes his the run up, his big special.
Straight down the end of the street.
400 yards.
Straight through the bedroom window.
It goes straight through the top window, right, which I love. And then they're like, do it again. So he does it again, and it flies down, conks him on the head. Oh,
you goddams!
I think you hit that guy on the head. Well, he shouldn't have been there. And then they're like, double or nothing.
Yeah, and he clatters the wife.
He clatters her in the top window, and she rolls down the little porch. Like, okay, I think we should. think we should go back inside.
Brilliant. Like that's Adam Sandler's genius writing.
Yeah.
Like I know he co-wrote this, but that's genius.
But you're a golfer, Greg.
Debatable, but we'll go.
Well, I mean, you go out and you hit a few balls around.
Ruins a good walk.
You have to have tried it.
I have tried it.
How'd you do? 400 yarder?
About 560. No, sorry. I missed it.
5.6.
5 to 6.
Yeah.
No, probably about 50 or 60 yards.
Yeah.
It's
not really optimal.
Can't, like when I did it, mine tend to go really high.
Yeah.
So it just runs on the ground for me because I can't set it properly.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's not an optimal way of
it is a legal shot though in golf.
Oh, it's legal, but it's not optimal because you're kind of running up, not a run up, but like a 2-step run up. You're not like golf is about the swing and your hips and stuff. This is just a pure smash of the ball and hope.
Yeah, like I wonder how many times making this movie Adam Sandler had to redo it.
Oh, I'd say a lot.
Yeah.
But they convince him that he could make some serious money, so he goes down to the driving range and starts betting people, and he keeps hitting them 400 plus yards.
Yeah, I don't even think he's betting them. I think he's charging, saying, "How much would you give me if I hit it over the highway?"
Well, he says to them what's the bets I can get it over the highway and stuff. So he's making a little bit of money, and then we get introduced to one of the best characters, Chubbs,
Mr. Apollo Creed himself.
Yeah, Chubbs. Oh, great. You're doing fantastic.
All in the hips.
Yeah, you're doing fantastic. Yeah. And he comes out and he says to him, you could make it. You could make it as a pro. And Happy has no interest in this, so he gets in the batting cage.
Yeah. Now, when me and Zoe went to Florida, when me and my dad...
You did this, did you?
No, yeah. When me and my dad and my uncle went to Florida, we actually seen one of the batting cages live. Now, I don't know what it's like back then, where they all over the place or whatnot. We're seeing one, and the ball does come out pretty fucking fast.
Yeah.
No, there was too long of a queue, and I didn't want to wait in the scoring heat to try and swing a baseball bat at it.
Oh, you wouldn't have just stood there and let it rocket off you, Greg, no?
No sense, no feeling,
Yeah, but he takes a few shots, and then the kid sees him do that, and when he comes out...
Oh my God, look at this guy.
Whoa, this is great. So he leaves, and he's talking to Chubbs, and we see the kid go back in, and the kid tries to get flattened out of it. But Chubbs is like, oh, if you could, enter this and you could win some money.
Yeah, and he's like, no, I'm not a golfer, I'm a hockey player, and he's messing with the hockey stick with the
and then he says, so then he does that, and then he's about to drive off, and he goes, you could win some money. So he stops and he reverses up money. No,
because he knocks his hand off, remember?
When he does.
Messing with the hockey stick, he hits it and his hand goes, it's grand. That's pure oak.
He knocks it off, and then as he goes to leave, he goes to shake his hand, and he's just like...
But the truck runs over it, then it's pure oak.
Yeah, but then he gets in the car and he's going to drive off after he goes to shake the hand that's no longer there. And Chubbs shouts, you could win some money.
He looks at the picture of his nanny. So
he reverses up and he goes, okay, I'm in. Now, the thing is that this is like a semi-pro, like amateur thing.
Yeah. Right? Tournaments like this, I don't think really actually, well, they might do in terms of getting to a semi-pro.
Yeah, but I don't think they'd exist to get you into a big tournament like he's getting into, where you can win, like getting you into the pro circuit.
Yeah, no, well, it might have back in the day, but now
I don't think winning
tour school.
Yeah, I don't think winning one small tournament is going to get you into a pro circuit. Like,
no, probably not. Like that, I'd say that's where the film critics are marking it down.
Yeah, but you see, like one of the things is that he can drive the ball 400 yards, but he can't drive it less than that. How many holes are going to be that long on that golf course? Is every hole going to be 400 plus yards?
No, well, most par fours would be give or take probably 350, say somewhere between 350 and 600 maybe.
Yeah, but I mean, like, how many times is a golf course all par 4 or above? Like, you've always got a couple of par 3s, No,
well, any professional golf course is usually going to have at least 2 par 3s, I think, and 2 par 5s.
Yeah, so I mean, he's over driving for all of them.
Oh, 100%. This is where the inaccuracies is probably what they get marked down on.
But again, as we said at the start, you know,
it's a comedy.
You just kind of turn your brain off and just watch it. Like we're only nitpicking here just because we're kind of looking back on it. But he wins this tournament in the end, even after his terrible putting.
When he goes in first, the
caddy.
He's walking up to the tee box with the clubs under his arm. The young lad comes and takes them and he pushes him.
What are you doing?
I'm your caddy.
Mr. Gilmore, I'm your caddy. And then he gets up to the tee off
and he meets
and your man's go, it's like he's gonna swing first. Okay.
Get out of the way.
Get out of the way. Where were you on that one, dipshit?
Yeah. But he comes along and it's going way through it, and he hits the first drive right down onto the green. Well, there's lads on the green.
He missed it,
and he goes ape shit.
Yeah. And then he hits the second one straight down onto the green. He's terrible at putting.
Yeah, terrible. He knocks it off the green into the bunker, back on and back around. Yeah. And then some guy's like, about time. Yeah, it is about time. Pulls his top over his head and flattens him.
Clocks him. Then the second one, he drives down into the hole in one. It's a lot easier.
This from now on.
It's a lot easier if I just get it in one shot than that putting stuff. Yeah, great idea, kid.
Yeah. Well, I've played golf almost my whole life, and I think I have about 8 hole-in-ones, and they were all in pitch and putt. They went on a long golf course.
Yeah.
The closest I've come to a hole-in-one on a golf course was when I played in Florida, and I was about 8 feet.
Yeah. But he ends up winning this tournament, and he's now.
He gets to the last hole, and Chubb says to him, he says, "You have 4 shots.
4 shots, and you win." And he gets it.
Just tap it in.
He makes a mess of the first 3 shots, and then he thinks about his granny and manages to make it right on the last one.
Yeah.
So he's on the Pro Tour, doesn't win any money for this one.
Yeah.
Gets a nice trophy, though.
Yeah.
And he tells
wants to change to a hockey man.
Yeah. And Chubbs tells him, listen, you're not ready for the pros. I think you should just come with me. We'll work on your putting game. And maybe in 6 months' time, you can go to the pros. And he's like, no, I'm going now. I need money.
If this was the case, right, and Chubbs had that much faith, Chubbs probably could have given him.
At the start, from the start. But he shuts Chubbs down and goes, no, I have to do it now.
Yeah.
Which, you understand, the guy's trying to make some money, and he figures out that he'll get money even if he comes in last place of every tournament. So I suppose...
Well, I can see last price at 2,800 quid for what? How many 7-day processes? 10 sevens, 70. What you're talking about?
140.
No, but you're talking about he has 90 days.
Yeah.
Right. So you're talking about 10 sevens. So every golf tournament say is 7 days apart. You're talking about 10, 84, 91. You're talking about what?
20, 30 grand kind of.
Yeah, he has to do well.
Yeah, he has to get better, but he's not thinking that. He's just thinking, I'll get as much as I can, and then
we'll see what happens.
Go for it. So he goes to the first major tournament
in Atlanta,
and he shows up, and he's like, "I'm the my name's Happy Gilmore," and everyone's like, "Oh yeah, oh you're the guy with the really long drive."
What's your caddy's name?
Who's your caddy? You guys haven't given me one. Oh no, you have to get your own caddy.
Yeah, right as this was, he pulls in his old banger of a car, and this homeless guy comes upstairs in his window, and he gives him a book, and the security are dragging him out.
Yeah, get him out of here. He's just trying to make some money. So, I know who I'll get as my caddy, the homeless guy. So he brings the homeless guy on. That's his new caddy. He has socks over the top of all of his clubs as his golf covers. Yeah. Why not?
I remember watching a tournament. I think it was Bill Murray that done it in the Pro-Am. And he done it. Messy.
What a legend.
Well, one of the holes, he actually took his shoe off, put a sock on someone else's club and left.
What a legend. I love Bill Murray. But he's going to play his first hole and in the Pro tournament, and Mr. Larson's there.
No. This is where he meets Gary. Remember, he comes along.
He meets Gary, but Mr. Larson is there as well to cheer him on, isn't he?
That's the second tournament.
Oh, was that the second tournament he cheers him on? This is where he meets Larry, where he's like, everything comes full circle.
Yeah. Harness, energy, block, bad.
Yeah.
Taking good, block, bad.
That guy's crazy.
Psycho. And then Happy goes to hit it and misses the ball.
again,
and he curses the holy bejesus out of it.
smashing the club around.
And he goes back to your man Larry, and he's like, psycho.
But again, second swing,
Crushes it.
crushes it straight up onto the green, and everyone's cheering.
Yeah. And then it cuts along halfway through, and he's struggling.
It's the same thing, you know. He can't putt. He can drive, but he can't do anything else.
Right. At this point, we've already been introduced to arguably the bad guy of the film, Shooter McGavin.
Well, there's two kind of bad guys in this film. One is Shooter McGavin, and the other one we
haven't met yet.
No, well, the other one we got introduced quite earlier, and he's the orderly at the nursing home. He's a bad guy.
Well, technically, there's probably three.
No, I don't think so. I think there's just two bad guys, and then one guy who just kind of like he's an idiot and keeps getting bribed into doing stuff.
But yeah, so we've met Shooter, and Shooter's won 3 times out of the last 4 on the tour, and it's his year.
Yeah, so they play, and you know, Happy comes last, but he gets his check for 2,000, and he's told
meet us on the 16th green at 9 o'clock.
No, well, even before that, the reporter, she's told get him off the tour. Like,
oh yeah, the guy from the PGA apparently sees him on the telly. He's like, get Virginia Bennett in here.
Yeah, get him off
release.
The tour.
Yeah.
He is off the tour. It's because of all the cursing and the stuff like that.
And she saves him because she's like, the Dell Open have sold out because people want to see him.
People want to see him, so he says make sure no more punching fans.
Like, to me,
or punching other pros. Sorry, not other fans. No punching other pros.
To me, this is kind of what Tiger did for golf is what they used for Happy.
Yeah, they've taken a real life situation and somebody that.
But like in around that time,
followed.
Tiger was only coming big about that time anyway.
Yeah, no, well, just for clarity's sake, Tiger wasn't doing what Happy was doing. He wasn't going to punch another pros or anything.
But Tiger brought the sport of golf up.
His personality brought people to the sport,
yeah.
Which is what they're saying. Happy is the one being, Shooter McGavin is the consummate pro.
He's the Jack Nicklaus of this film.
Yeah, well, I mean, he's dedicated his life to this, and he's, golf is a sport to be respected and stuff, and Happy's just there to, make money. That's all he cares about.
Yeah.
And
that's all he cares. Like, to me, the way this movie starts, if he got 280 grand from his first tournament, he was gone. Yeah,
exactly. Yeah, but he gets invited to the 9th hole at 9 o'clock by Shooter.
Wear something nice.
Wear your best. So he goes there.
Shows up in the suit.
Shows up in his nice blue suit. Gets ruined because the sprinklers come on.
Yeah.
An old golf pro's trick. And he gets back to Virginia.
This is the equivalent of asking an apprentice to get you a spirit level or a skirting ladder.
Yeah. But he goes back and Virginia Bennett's like, oh, you got caught by the 9th hole at 9 o'clock.
Have you seen Shooter McGavin? Why? Because I'm going to go beat the living piss out of him.
He tells him, you can't do that. You can't do that. Just tone it down. Or you'll be kicked off the tour. And he's like,
can't happen.
Okay, I'll tone it down. No more throwing your clubs. No more punching other pros.
No more swearing.
Yeah, I think
pretty much you have to follow the rules of golf.
Yeah, so
I'm not wearing the clothes.
Yeah, if I see myself wearing clothes like that, I'd have to kick my own ass.
And then she goes to leave, and he's like, "So how about me and you go for dinner? What are you doing now? How about we go for dinner? Oh, I don't take offers. Good thing I'm a hockey player."
Well, that's a bit. Is that a bit later?
That's there.
Is it not the second time?
No, it's when he's standing at the top of the stairs going up towards the...
Oh, you're right. Yeah, it is.
And she turns him down.
No, it is. This is the second time because this is the time after he goes to stab. That's the time after he goes to stab
oh, it is, isn't it?
Shooter, isn't it? Because Shooter screws him over.
Yeah, so when the tournament's over, he finishes last.
Yeah, he's finished last. He goes back to visit his
but he's drawn the crown. Or he's drawn the crown. He's drawn the crowd.
Yeah, and he goes Shooter back
Shooter has a putt to win, and there's nobody there basically because they're all watching Happy.
Yeah, but he goes back to visit his granny in the nursing home, and we see
they're quilting.
They're quilting. Oh yeah. Your fingers hurt, do they? Well, your back's gonna hurt because you just pulled landscaping duty. Anybody else's fingers hurt?
But just in the build up to this, like we see Hal on the phone to someone. He's like, "This is quality handmade stuff. 200 a quilt."
Yeah.
Okay, we're going to extend arts and crafts time for about 4 hours.
4 hours.
My fingers hurt.
Yeah, well, now your back's gonna hurt. Landscaping duty. So his granny tells him, oh, the air conditioner doesn't work. So he says, oh, I'll fix that. Out the window with it.
To the top.
Straight down, and he looks out the window. Mister, get this thing off me.
Hey, you know that Mister lady? Yeah, I think I just killed her.
I think I just killed her. She's great in this. Like, it's just those 2 lines from her.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
She's so memorable. But
he leaves then, and
we see him at his second day of the tournament.
Yeah.
This time when he hits the drive, he's like, he's riding around like the thing is a horse.
Oh, he's doing the bull dance. He's harnessing the energy.
Oh, he's harnessing the energy. He's doing the bull dance.
Yeah.
And we see Mr. Larson here, and he's like, "Hey, happy? Oh,
yeah, I have fans."
What you gonna? Nice to see you, Mr. Larson. When you getting the nail out of your head? Oh, getting it out.
Comes out next week.
Nail comes out next week. Oh, great! Barely notice it.
Then he drives the green.
Drives straight to the green. No bothers.
In the next scene, we see Shooter coming up to the tee.
Do you reckon you can make it to the green in one shot? No, it's
not
possible.
Not possible.
Oh,
I beg to differ. Happy Gilmore done that feat no more than an hour ago.
There we go. Yeah, well.
All right, more. Oh my God. Like this,
then he bends the club in half.
The scene here is another mistake as to, I'd say, what the critics picked up on. So when he goes to walk away, he's like, "Hey, Shooter, you forgot your 9-iron." Yeah. You can clearly see he's bent one of his woods.
Yeah, but I mean, takes some power to bend a golf club in half like that, I would say.
Well, yeah, to bend it in half. That's right, Kane. It doesn't cost that much to break a fucking club.
Yeah, break it is one thing, but we see Happy through the next couple of tournaments, just drawing a crowd. Checks. He's starting to pick up bigger checks, and he's starting to draw the crowd with, the celebrating and all stuff like that. And then we see him, he hits a ball into the water, dives into to go get it.
Brilliant. Yeah, so
picks up one ball, looks at it. Nope.
No.
Next
you
one.
have to play your own ball.
Yeah, picks up the next. Yeah, but normally when you put the ball in the water, you get a mulligan and you just drop a new ball.
You don't get a mulligan.
Well, you have to drop a ball.
Drop a shot, yeah.
You don't go in to get the ball.
No, but he's not a golfer.
Yeah, so he picks up one ball. Nope. Picks up the next one. This is it. So he's back up to the top and he picks it up for everyone to see.
The hand goes up in celebration.
Yeah. Then we see he's talking to his caddy. We see someone put down a coin on the green to mark their ball. He just picks that up and puts it in his pocket. I think this hill is sloping slightly downwards. Yeah, and slightly to the left. No, it just seems that way because you're only wearing one shoe. Oh yeah. But we see him, build up to this, and then he eventually hits a ball, and it goes into a crocodile's mouth. The funny thing
was at the end of that tournament, you see the caddy in the lake,
washing himself, and he has his car's full of checks. He's building up a bit of money, and he's winning more and more each time because he's finishing higher and higher.
Yeah, you can see it. Like it goes. I think it's like 3, 6, 19 and a half, 24, 35 or something.
But we see him drive a big shot, and it goes slightly off to the side this time. It happens. But it bounces into an alligator's mouth.
Yeah.
And he's like, I better go get that. And the alligator has his mouth open, so he goes to put his hand in, and it snaps.
No, he goes for the golf club first. He's like...
No, he goes to put his hand in, the alligator snaps at him, and then he's like...
No, he goes to try and get it with the golf ball with the club first, and it snaps, and then it snaps again, and he's like... Do you see him like this? And he's like...
Oh, yeah, and then
you've got one eye.
He sees that it's got one eye, and he's like, he remembers that Chubbs has one hand, and when he showed him his one hand, he was like, "Damn alligator, bit my hand off."
Chubbs tells me, he's like, "I was playing in a tournament down in Florida, hooked the ball into the rough. Damn alligator came, took my hand,
but I got his eye."
Yeah, he took my hand, but I got that bastard's eye.
So he notices it's the same alligator, and he's like, "Right, I'm gonna sort this lad out." So he just beats up the alligator. A few elbows to the head.
This is brilliant. The alligator turns to go. He just dives after dropping some elbows, and then he hits it a solid headbutt.
Yeah. I mean, a solid headbutt to an alligator, I wouldn't advise it.
No, well, let's say it's going to be like fucking headbutting armor.
Yeah, I wouldn't advise it, but he, it works for Happy. And, this guy's been getting hit in the head with golf ball or with a baseball, like with
just for the
baseballs fired
record,
out of a cannon at him. Yeah, so, maybe he does have a strong head,
Just for the record, we don't recommend fighting an alligator, let
Do
alone
not
fighting an alligator in water.
Don't fight it anywhere, but definitely not in the water. Happy Gilmore might be able to do it, but you can't.
Yeah.
But he gets his ball back from this alligator, and he plays on in that tournament.
Yeah, he finishes 9th.
Yeah, he's starting to pick up. His putting is still leaving a lot to be desired, but he's obviously getting a couple of hole-in-ones here. And that's when he gets back to the pub, and he's talking to Shooter McGavin.
He's Shooter.
Shooter buys him his first beer.
He walks in. He's like, "Can I get a beer, please?" And Shooter's like, "Put that on my tab."
Yeah, and they have a bit of a disagreement here.
Yeah, this is where Shooter's like, you could make real money off going to the long drive competitions, and he's like, "I know what you're trying to do, and I don't like it."
Yeah, so they have a bit of a falling out, and he smashes the bottle and points it at a Shooter's neck.
And Veronica
Veronica walks in.
Yeah,
and she's
"What's
like,
going on here?" I was just looking for the other half of this bottle, just a bit here and a bit here. Maybe you should put the bottle down.
Yeah. So Shooter now tries to get him kicked off the tournament.
This is where one of the famous lines from Happy Gilmore comes when Shooter's walking out. He's like, "Don't get in my way. I might just cross the bay."
Oh, yeah.
Go eat some hay.
Hey, you want me to go eat some hay? Oh, well, I saved that for another day.
Yeah, genius.
But this is the time when he's walking down the stairs with Veronica, and he says to her, "Will you go out?" And she says, I don't date golfers. He said, "I'm not a golfer. I'm a hockey player." And they go to the ice rink.
This is brilliant.
And he says to her,
absolutely brilliant.
He makes a deal with her. If you make this shot.
But it's not even that. It's the funnier bit where he's telling the story of, like, you can obviously tell the granny loves him.
Yeah.
Because he's like, when I was like 9 years old, my granny took me to see this in the movie because I had a big crush on Brooke Shields.
Yeah.
And she was like, "You should write her a letter." So he wrote her a letter. He's like, about 2 weeks later, I get a message back or a letter back from her. It was in my granny's handwriting.
Yeah, but he makes a deal with Veronica if she can make the shot from the halfway line into the net.
Like, I don't know, how big is a hockey net?
Not big. No, it is tough.
So, like, you're talking about the width of a fireplace, maybe a bit more, maybe.
Yeah, about that. Yeah, like it's not big. Like, it's a tough shot to make and she's never played hockey, so it's not like it's an easy feat.
Yeah,
it's doable,
especially on ice skates as well.
Yeah, you're on ice skates, and what she does is what if you were asked to do it, is the correct thing to do. Don't put any power in, just
guide it,
push it so that it kind of glides along the ice. Now, you do still need to put a bit of power, but the deal is, if she makes the shot, he'll leave her alone. But if she misses, she has to give him a kiss and pretend to like it. And she sinks it. She sinks it.
I'm pretty sure that might construe as some kind of sexual harassment.
Possibly, but she makes the shot, and he goes, well, that backfired. And she says, "I didn't see it go in." So we see that, she does have feelings for him.
And my endless love is on in the background. It cuts out to your man singing.
Yeah, and this is great because there's no reason for him to be doing this.
Yeah, he's the guy that was driving the machine over the ice.
Yeah, and he's just sitting there singing this song as they.
Well, like, you can see the two of them in the background spinning around. You see them kissing again.
Yeah, and he's just sitting there.
Oh, you cheeky bastard!
He's just sitting there. But the next thing we see is Shooter is trying to get Happy thrown off the pro course, and the director kind of says to him, "Not happening. Yeah. He's making way too much money for us. We can't kick him off. Nothing we can do."
Never gonna happen.
So Shooter says, "I'm gonna have to take this into my own hands." Now, the next tournament is what was Pro-Am.
He says to him, I was trying to chip there on 17. There was two bikers having. Oh no, there was a guy mooning me.
Yeah.
He had Happy wrote on his ass HA on one cheek, and right there on the other cheek was PPY.
Yeah. But Shooter decides it's up to him to sort this out. The next tournament is the Pro-Am. We see
Pepsi Pro-Am. Yeah. This is actually a real tournament.
Yeah, and
I don't think it's sponsored by Pepsi anymore, though.
But we see Happy paired up with Bob Barker.
Legendary game show host, Bob Barker.
Happy quotes something at him, and he goes, "It's the Price is Right, actually."
Yeah, he says, "Looking forward to seeing you on some other game show." And he's like, "Oh, it's the Price is Right, Happy."
Sorry. But this is where we see what Shooter McGavin's done to. He's hired this guy to just keep shouting "jackass" and "you suck" every time Happy.
You're never getting off that beach, you jackass.
And like, this guy is funny, and like, the thing is that he's just a fan of Shooter, and Shooter promises to be his friend and go to dinner and stuff with him. So he's doing it as a favor because he thinks they're friends.
Yeah.
But we see a fight scene between Bob Barker and Happy Gilmore. Bob Barker's got some haymakers in him.
This one goes before that, like you see him, he's all over the shop. He's on the beach. He hits someone in a boat.
Like, he's playing terrible.
Your man just keeps winding him up and winding him up.
But we see a fight between him and Bob Barker. And Bob Barker throws some big shots.
He's like, "Don't push me, Bob."
Yeah. But
he Happy hits him with an absolute smashing left hook.
Yeah.
Sends him down the hill, and Bob Barker gets up and says, "You don't want a piece of me, Bob?" He's like, "I don't want a piece. I want the whole damn thing." And Bob throws some smashers.
Well, this is all before he throws him down the hill. Bob then knocks him into the water, and he comes up.
No, when Happy hits him, Bob goes down the hill first, and he gets up, and he comes up then and starts landing.
No, that's at the top of the hill that he hits him. They don't go down the hill for another little bit. He knocks Happy.
Bob goes down the hill first.
No. He hits Bob. Bob hits the deck. Then Bob gets up.
Yeah, I could have sworn he goes down the hill there, and then he comes back up, and then he starts laying into him.
No, they lay into each other. He throws him into the pool, and then Happy essentially rugby tackles him, and they roll down the hill.
Yeah, no, but when I mean he goes down the hill, he doesn't go the whole way down, but you see him get up.
No, I think he just kind of hits the deck. But either way, they roll down the hill. Happy hits him a headbutt on the ground, gets up and tells him, "Price is wrong, bitch." And then, like the Undertaker, Bob Barker just grabs him by the throat for the big choke slam, but he ends up just punching him around a little bit.
Yeah, and then Happy's on the deck, and he's like, "Had enough?" No.
Now you've had enough.
Boot in the head, bitch.
Yeah, now you've had enough. So they get, it cuts to Happy essentially being thrown off the tournament, and they're like, he needed 25 grand to get the house back, and now he's been fined.
I'm not sure as to why Shooter McGavin is in this meeting.
Because Shooter's the one trying to get him thrown off, so Shooter just shows up to try and get it. Like, presumably Shooter has shown up and gone, "You need to kick him off the tournament."
Yeah, no, I get that, but like, if you're kicking someone off, you're never going to have another player in there.
Yeah, but Shooter's like, he's the guy they want to win as well.
Yeah, but he's the golden boy at the time.
Yeah. But they say, "We're not going to kick Happy off. We're just going to fine him 25
and suspend him for a month."
Yeah, so Happy now needs 50k to get back to buying the house for Granny. And
this is where it cuts to him and Virginia talking in Subway.
Yeah, so he takes up an advertising role. This is like Subway. I hope Subway actually did take this up, because
the look on her face though when she cops it, it's a bit of film. It's only something small in the film.
Yeah,
but like you see, it's like, the only thing that makes me happy is this cold meat turkey combo. And it's when
he hits it with the golf club into your man's mouth. That's the golden bit. Yeah, that's the golden bit. But he makes the money off that, and then they go. He's like, "Right, come on, Granny, we'll go get your house back."
They arrive to the house,
and it's on auction.
Cars everywhere.
And he's like, "I thought you said we could buy it back." Yeah, it's on auction. You can buy it back now. And Happy's like, "Oh, we might get it back a bit cheaper, 100." And then it gets to 250. He's like, "Oh, maybe not. 275." And it looks like he's going to get it. And then someone bids 300, then 325, then 350. And it's sold
350 to the man in the white cardigan.
Yeah. So everyone clears off, and we see it's Shooter.
It's Shooter.
Yeah. So Happy walks up to him. He's like, "What the fuck?
What the hell's your problem?"
And Shooter tells him, "Listen, you drop out of the tournament, and I'll sign the house over to you."
Now, does that mean, like, I always try to wonder there, is that Shooter saying, "I'll buy the house and you can have it"? Or
he was going to sign it over to him, yeah. Like, "Here, you can just have it." And
well, for 300 grand, like you look at the first tournament the shooter wins in this film, he wins 280 grand.
Yeah, so to him,
That's
it's
probably
not.
not a lot.
Yeah, it's not too much. So he's just like, listen, I'll just give you this. I just want you out of the golf scene.
Yeah, and then Virginia talks him out of it.
And he's thinking about it. He's like, this is the only reason I play is to take that. And she's like, your granny would want you to be happy, not just to get the house back. And the granny says as much to him, you know. I want you to be happy. So he tells him. Well, he says to him like, we'll have
Tour
a
championships
bet.
next week.
Next match is the Tour Championship. If you win, I'll quit. If I win, you give me the house. And then he goes to walk off, and Shooter tells him, "No problem. I eat pieces of shit like you for breakfast."
You eat pieces of shit for breakfast?
That's one of my favorite lines from this whole film. What? No.
Like Adam Sandler and Christopher McDonald in this have such a good chemistry.
Great chemistry.
But like even there a couple of weeks ago, it was the 25th anniversary, and Adam Sandler hit he blew up the internet when he released the video of him hitting it. And then Christopher McDonald out of nowhere
responded.
Has a picture of him in his house putting the ball into a cup.
Yeah.
He's like, Shooter wins.
But they decide that they're going to go to this. So Happy says, right, I need to get this sorted. So he goes back to Chubbs and he says, I need you to teach me how to putt. And he tells him, you know, you were right, I was wrong. You're good looking, I'm ugly. Just apologizes in every way he can. And Chubbs has glued his hand back together. And Happy crushes it and gives him back all the fingers.
It's just white everywhere.
Yeah, just destroys it again. Well, here's all your stuff back. So they go to, you know, just a little, like,
it's like a putt.
Yeah, like, you know,
Mini
all
golf.
all the stuff you see, you know, like, get it over this hill and into there, go through this little thing.
You know, I'd love to play one like this. Now, I played one with Toby when we were in Florida, and it wasn't even nearly as good as this.
I've played a couple of them, like, and, you know, they don't tend to be as good as this, but they're going around, and Happy's putting is as bad as ever.
Oh, the first shot, he
straight
puts it into the car park.
Yeah. His putting is as bad as ever until he gets to the clown.
He gets his nemesis here.
And he puts it, the clown's teeth come down. Puts it, the clown's teeth come down. Now, the two putts he goes for here are quite good until...
Yeah, they're right bang in the middle of where they're supposed to be. Yeah. He's taking Chubbs' advice here, going 6 inches short of the hole and push it on then.
And then Chubbs tells him, just go for it one more time. So he goes for it, gets it in, and you're like, oh, great.
Good shot.
Clown spits it back out. Now, this, like, obviously this had never happened, but the clown spits it back out at him. So he goes over and
You're gonna die, clown.
Swings the golf club at the clown's head.
He takes his nose off. Yeah. Like, you're not laughing now, clown.
Then one of the two actual pro golfers that shows up in this whole film is here.
Lee Trevino.
Yeah, just shaking his head.
Yeah.
And he appears a couple of times doing that. There's one other pro golfer in this. Do you remember where he was?
The other pro golfer?
Yeah, there's one other pro golfer in this film.
No.
It's when he goes to the club the first time and the three lads are standing around in the yellow jackets with Shooter.
Yeah.
The one that speaks to Happy is a pro golfer.
Is he?
Yeah, it is. What's his name? I was hoping that you'd know his name because I don't.
I know Lee Trevino is the one that keeps shaking his head.
Ed Lieberman.
Oh yeah. Well, I don't know him, but
yeah. Well, he's the other one anyway. Ed Lieberman. Ed Lieberman is the guy in the gold jacket. So they're the only two actual golfers in this. But they get to the final one, which is obviously the one where the streets collapse, and it's the hardest hole.
How the hell are they supposed to put with this?
How the hell am I meant to concentrate? And he's told, go to your happy place. Now his happy place is, it's pretty nice. It's by the lake.
His granny has a slot machine that she's jackpotting.
That she throws all the coins in the air. Victoria's there with 2 beer steins on the bed.
In some nice white lingerie.
Right. and then for some reason, just this kind of like
A
midget.
midget on a bike.
Yeah, I don't know what that's about, but
He's on the trike.
I don't know why he's there, but he is.
Yeah. You had to include him somewhere.
Well, I mean, that's his happy place. So maybe that's
Yeah.
what maybe he just likes seeing that, you know. But he uses that, then he makes the putt.
You
He's
kind of
ready.
see him looking around. He's like, where can I hit? What can I do?
And he's like,
this is
I'm
the
ready.
little montage in the movie.
Yeah, and he's like,
where you
I'm
see
ready.
in all sports movies where they try and kind of do it. Like,
yeah, and he's like, I'm ready. So he makes the putt, and you're like, okay, he's ready for the pros. Like, he's ready to beat Shooter here.
So then it goes back to Chubbs's.
They go back to Chubbs's house, and Chubbs has made him a nice little token putter.
I actually had one of these putters.
It's Chubbs's old
Odyssey
putter.
Blade.
Yeah, it's Chubbs's old putter, but it's been made into a hockey stick.
Yeah,
I think and it looks great. Like, it looks fantastic.
Yeah, again, that's probably another place they're getting marked down, because I don't think that brand of putter wouldn't have been around back when he was.
No, but it looks fantastic anyway. And he tells Chubbs, "Oh, I got you a present as well."
Yeah, and he's like, what is it? And he uncovers a box.
Do you remember that gator that got your hand? Got your hand?
I got
his head, and Chubbs is obviously scared. There's an alligator head in his apartment,
in his house, and he falls backwards out the window.
And we see the same guy
there, Trevino again. I
think
you see him 3 or 4 times in the movie.
Yeah, and every time it's just him shaking his head. But we get to the day of the tournament, and Happy's a little bit off because obviously Chubbs has died, and he's going to dedicate it to Chubbs.
They're at the little memorial for him.
He shakes the hand.
Yeah, and he gives it the old little
slaps on each
slap
side.
High five and all.
Yeah, and then Shooter says, "I'm going to dedicate my win to Chubbs."
And
he's like, "No, I'm dedicating my win to Chubbs." And he's like, "I call it first."
Yeah.
They're so childish.
And then it was like Grizzly Adams had a beard, and then you see Lee Trevino actually say something in this. He's like, "But Grizzly Adams did have a beard."
Yeah, you're going to win, and Grizzly Adams has a beard, but Grizzly Adams did have a beard.
He just sweeps off. Christopher McDonald there. Like, some of the things he does in this is just top end.
Yeah, so they start playing, and Happy's doing well.
It goes to the commentator, and he's like, "So it's the tour jacket. There's 61 other pros, but wouldn't you believe that Shooter and Happy have been drawn together?"
Yeah, so they're playing away, and one drives, the other drives, one drives, the other drives.
Happy obviously winning the drives.
Yeah, and then we see
the first hole though, where Shooter hits first.
Yeah,
he's like, "What's that little small room at the top of the stairs?" "Well, that was my room." "That's got to be my trophy room."
Yeah,
"I don't think it's big enough." Then he drives, and then it goes to Happy, and Happy puts it on the green, and then it cuts out. You don't know how many shots Shooter's taking. You imagine it's just one.
One more shot to get up to the green, and then he's like,
he puts it. Let me show you how you do it in the pros league, and he does the no look putt.
Yeah, and then Happy puts as well. Uh-oh, somebody learned to putt.
Happy learned how to putt. Uh-oh.
So they're playing away at each other, and then there's one point Happy gets into the sand, and
into the bunker.
Yeah, chips it straight in from there, no bother.
And
then
it cuts back, and then after the first day,
they're 5 under. 5 under and 4 under.
Yeah, Shooter's one ahead after the first day.
Yeah, 5 under and 4 under, which is, that's fine for the first day.
Well, it's pretty good for a first day. You can't win a tournament on the first day, but you can certainly lose it.
Yeah, I mean, it's good for the first day. They're both doing fine. They're in first and second place, respectively. But Shooter is now starting to panic.
Yeah, he knows that Happy has a big chance here.
Yeah, so he knows. Well, I don't know. Is this the first day? Like, I think the whole thing is just one day, isn't it?
No, because he says after the commentator says after the first day, but it doesn't cut back to the first hole. Then it cuts.
And we see Happy starting to catch up, and eventually going into day 3, they're level.
Yeah, we're going into day 4. Yeah,
still on -5, which at this point isn't great.
Well, I've seen tournaments end with people 1 or 2 over par.
I know, yeah, but like going into day 3, normally the top 2 people aren't 5 under. You know, there's normally a couple of people that are be like 6 or 7 under, but you know,
we'll take it.
It is what it is, and this is the day that Shooter has
he gets Doug back down.
He gets
no,
Doug back down.
No, Doug is your man. I don't think you actually find out his name.
No,
the man who loves Red Lobster.
Yeah, you know, he gets the
jackass guy.
The jackass. You suck, you jackass. Gets him back down, and he's like, I need you to come down. And your man's like,
Happy.
Oh, hey, you want to go to Red Lobster? And he's like, no, I don't want to go to Red Lobster.
But then it cuts out, and Happy's walking along the fairway, and he drives him down in his little fucking
shitty car.
Volkswagen Beetle.
Yeah. Crashes into a tower.
Yeah. And gets out, his arm's on fire, and he runs off.
You jackass.
Yeah.
The doctor checks out Happy and advises, you know, just pull out. And Happy's like, no, I've got to play. I've got to play.
What would I know?
What would I know?
I'm only a doctor.
I'm just a doctor. So Happy plays, but he can't drive.
Yeah, he's now lost.
The big drive.
The commentator makes it a big thing as he hits it, and he's like, "Oh, this is the first time that Happy hasn't
hit the green
Shooter."
Yeah, and he's just behind him, to be fair.
Yeah, well, from being 50 or 60 yards in front of him.
I know, yeah, but like even still,
it did just get hit by a car.
But it's not just getting hit by the car. It's him he misses a couple of putts.
The woods.
He starts playing quite poorly and goes from 5 under to 1 under.
Yeah.
And it's looking bad, and he tries to go back to his happy place again, but Shooter shows up in his happy place.
Everyone's in black this time.
Yeah, Shooter shows up, kisses Veronica, then kisses Grandma.
Yeah. And he goes down, and Happy's in the woods, and he's trying to hit it across the lake, and hits it he takes 3 or 4 swings at it.
And just puts it into the lake, and then throws a rock in the lake.
And then the caddy does the same.
Caddy throws a rock in the lake as well.
And then it cuts to Veronica.
Veronica's shown up, and she's like, somebody's here to see you.
She's Brock Granny.
And he's like, I can't win. I'm gonna lose the house. And she's like, oh, I don't care about the house.
I just want you to be happy.
Just want you to be happy. And this allows him to get back into
his
focus.
Happy place.
Gets him back into his happy place. So he hits his first shot.
Right to about 4 feet.
Yeah. Then there's another shot a little bit later where he's, just behind Shooter. Shooter chips onto the green. Then he chips onto the green. Somebody's closer.
Yeah, but after he hits that first shot, when he gets back into the good place, he's like,
yeah,
it ain't over yet, McGavin.
Yeah. So he catches back up, and they're back down to level. Or he's 1 ahead of Shooter. Because Shooter makes the mistake of driving into the
lake.
Into the lake, yeah. And then we're on the last hole.
Happy makes eagle.
Yeah, we're on the last hole.
It's a long eagle putt here, and he's made it.
Yeah. So we're on to the last hole with Happy one putt, or like one. He's on 5 under, and Shooter is
4. And this is where the
Shooter
commentators...
hits it. Shooter hits it into the crowd.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Before you see them going along, all you can see is people's shoes, and you see it land on a big shoe.
Your ball struck my foot.
Yeah. And he's like, "Dog, can I get a drop?" And you got to play it where it lies.
I mean,
he's not wrong.
He's not. But you think they'd be like, "Can you just move your foot so the ball falls on the ground, please?"
Have you ever actually seen the video that happened at a tournament where Rory McIlroy put the ball into a tree and it landed in someone's pocket?
Yeah.
Like, there's weird things like that. That person, I think, could have walked onto the fairway and dropped it.
Yeah, they could. But you see, like, that's the thing. You have to play it where it lies. But like in most cases, the person whose foot it landed on would just move their foot, and you could hit it. But
like that ball's placed there.
Yeah, but like even if it did stop like that, most people would go, I don't want someone swinging a golf club at my foot. So I'm just going to move my foot in case that hits my foot. But not this man. This man is happy to leave his foot there.
And camera pulls out, and it is Mr. Larson.
Yeah, Mr. Larson. He's like, you have to play it where it lies. So he hits it, That's a good shot, to be fair.
You can see him apologising. He's like, yeah.
It's a good shot. I mean, he gets it onto the green. It's a really good shot, and he doesn't hit Mr. Larson's foot.
Yeah.
And as he goes to walk off, Mr. Larson goes, "That's 2.
Oh, you can count.
Oh, I'm glad to see you can count. Oh, and you can count on me waiting for you in the parking lot." And he scurries off.
Yeah.
I mean, I'd scurry off if a guy that big and scary looking said that to me, to be fair.
Yeah, well,
I don't blame Shooter.
He wasn't the bad guy in Police Academy. Do you know who he was? He was Jaws in
The Shark.
he was Bruce. No, he was Jaws in James Bond.
Oh yes.
Yeah,
but
that's who he was.
We see Shooter's on the green, and he's obviously still further away than Happy, so he takes his shot and puts for 3.
Yeah, and he makes it.
So he makes it. So
he's level.
He's now level. Because it was a par 4, so he's 1 under. So
it's
level.
Now, when the commentator says about the crowd, where after the car drove into the tower.
Yeah, the crowd start climbing up onto the
tower.
Onto the tower, which eventually makes it.
Which is kind of on top of a car bonnet in a way.
Which eventually makes it fall over. And Veronica asks, "Can we get this cleared up?" And I mean, you have to play the ball where it lies. I get that.
Yeah,
that doesn't mean you can't clean up the fact that the green is covered in, this massive thing that's collapsed.
Yeah, but what she says is wrong, though. She's like, "I'll just mark it and we'll come back tomorrow and finish it."
What she says is wrong.
Yeah.
No, I think what she says is put around. When they say no.
Yeah, they say put around it. We'll go to sudden death.
We'll just go to sudden death, and
no, I'll just beat him now.
I mean, I think they'd have you would clean this up before you let him putt, because it's a health and safety risk.
Well, yeah.
But Happy doesn't need that. Happy, he's in his happy place. He remembers his putting with
Chubbs,
with the main man Chubbs, and he says,
I'll just beat him now.
I'll just beat him now. So
Shooter smirks at.
Yeah, Shooter's
because he's a smug bastard.
And I mean, if you mess up this shot,
you're out of the tournament. It's over.
Well, I mean, it depends where it lands, because you do still have another shot.
Yeah, but theoretically, if you hit that right, and it hits the metal pole and doesn't go anywhere,
yeah, then you're screwed.
Yeah.
But no risk, no reward. He
smashes it off the windscreen of the car, or the bonnet of the car.
Yeah, and then we see it pinging around, ping, ping, ping.
Yeah, and it's
cuts to the crowd, and they're just all looking.
Did you notice though, on that tower, the big sign that it rolls down, the big, huge fucking subway sign?
Yeah, but all the crowd are just looking as it pings around about 50 different ways, and then it goes out through a little pipe.
Yeah, and straight into the hole.
Straight into the hole. So he wins. He's won his house back. Everyone's happy, and
he wins by
everyone
or 2,
bar 1. Yeah, see, I think it is 2 shots, but they say it's 1.
Well, they don't actually say what he's won by.
But he wins, right?
Yeah.
And everyone's happy bar 1 person, and that 1 person is Shooter McGavin, because now he didn't win his coat.
Yeah, well, this is their equivalent to the Masters.
Yeah, and he hasn't won his coat, so he steals it.
Yeah, and he goes running.
He starts running off, and everyone starts chasing him. That's a bit weird, but fair enough. But one person in particular is chasing him. One man that you can't miss out on, the big 7-footer, Mr. Larson. Yeah. That jacket belongs to Mr. Gilmore.
And he's just, you see him then, and obviously either Shooter gets caught or he falls.
But he's getting pounded on.
Oh no!
He gets pounded on, and the jacket gets given back to Happy.
Yeah.
Because we see Happy pull up to the house in the next scene with Veronica, Granny, him in his jacket, and a very well cleaned up hobo.
Yeah, well, that caddy would have been rich by now.
He is rich. Yeah, he's rich by now, but he's still, he was still a hobo even at that final tournament. He still looked like a hobo. So.
Yeah. But they're talking and congratulations, this, that, and the other. He looks above the house, and you see Abraham Lincoln for some reason, an alligator, and Chubbs
waving at him.
Yeah, and he gives him the salute with the glass.
Yeah,
and they're like, "Who are you talking to?"
Nobody. But it's a great end to the film, happy ending.
Yeah. Actually, one bit we did miss in this, during that first tournament when Happy was struggling, it cuts the shooter and he's on the edge of the green.
Yeah.
And it shows how ruthless he is. He's like, what he says to Kelly, what thing? He says, I think you should play your 5 iron.
Yeah.
Give me my wedge. Chips in. 5 iron, you're fired.
Well,
bye-bye.
You're fired.
There's so many good one-liners in this.
There's so many little bits in it, yeah. But it's a quality film, and even now it still stands up so much. And there's nothing in it that would be considered, worth cancelling. You know, the way like we look back at certain films and we're like, you couldn't make that today. You could make this film today. There's nothing in this that would be, outlandish.
No, absolutely not. Well, you might have people giving out about the alligator scene.
What, the one where he beats him up or where he cuts his head off?
Well, both.
Well, I mean, we don't see him cut the head off, so maybe he died of natural causes, and
he did. Yeah, what happened? He got loafed in the skull.
He got a headbutt in the skull. Again, don't advise it. You're not Happy Gilmore. Don't do it.
Yeah.
But this is one of my favorite comedies.
Yeah, like it in obviously listening to the Sherlock Rail when this was on it and you were yourself was on it, I was like, yeah, I said it to you beforehand. I says this has a big chance.
Yeah, and I made sure it got to the end, and I made sure it won.
Well, it was always going to win the final.
Yeah, when it got to the final, it was going to win. But I made it put out some big hitters.
Now, to be fair, I think if either of the other two that were in the quarterfinal and semi-final with Mrs. Doubtfire and...
I think, the final was always going to go down to those two.
Yeah.
If they hadn't met each other prior.
Well, no, it didn't make it to the final, though.
But it was always going to make it. Like, it was always that was always going to be the real final. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Whoever won that, whoever
won
that was always going to be the real winner.
Yeah, well, Happy Gilmore, it's overall, like, Miss Doubtfire is probably a better film, but this is a better comedy.
Yeah, this is definitely funnier. Like, this is one of my favorite comedies of all time.
And
I can sit down and watch this 100 times, like, no problem.
And there's things you notice all the time that are different.
Yeah.
Well, not different, but you just mightn't have noticed.
Yeah, you mightn't have noticed them the first time you watch it, or the second, or the third, or the 100th.
Like the product placement in this, some of them are hilarious.
Yeah, even the fact that they mention Pepsi twice in it. Get me a Pepsi.
The Pepsi Pro-Am.
And then you have the Pepsi Pro-Am. Like, it's very smart. And then obviously, as you say, the golf club names and things like that.
Yeah,
all
the
very
Odyssey,
smart. Yeah, very smart stuff.
Yeah. This, as we said at the start, this is his best movie.
Yeah, definitely for me, this is the best film he's ever done.
People might say Big Daddy or
I love Big Daddy, but this is definitely the best film he's ever done for me.
This is a solid choice.
Yeah,
I think this keeps my winning record up.
It does, yes, Greg. 4-4 as we record, but we'll see.
This is one that I intently made for this weekend. Would be Masters weekend. Yeah,
it's a great one.
Yeah.
But again, obviously, thanks as always for being on, and don't forget everyone to like, share, subscribe to the Dynamo Podcast Network.
Just do it.
Yeah, just do it, as Nike would say. They weren't in this film, but
it wasn't Nike, was it? Ben Stiller in Starsky and Hutch. Just do it.
Yeah, well, it is Nike's thing as well.
Yeah, well, Ben Stiller's better.
We'll give them that little bit of a plug, you know. Don't forget to ship us out some cash for that nice plug, Nike.
Yeah. Or some runners, size 12.
Yeah, whichever. But for this week, that's it for this week. So good luck. Well, it's time for that part of the show that you all love. The advertisements for our sponsors. I know. None of us really like listening to these, but the truth is that we wouldn't be able to bring you this content without them. So let's just get down to it. First off, Wrestling Mania, the top floor of Stephen's Green Shopping Centre. Really good shop for all of your wrestling needs, whether that's DVDs, title belts, pop figurines, other collectibles, t-shirts, and if you like boxing and MMA, he has stuff there for you too. If he doesn't have something that you want, you can ask him. He'll order it in. No problems. Really nice guy, the owner of this shop. So get on down to Wrestling Mania on the top floor of Stephen's Green Shopping Centre. Oh, what's that? A pandemic? Well, that doesn't mean he's closed. Catch him on Facebook. Just send him a message. He'll sort you out. No problems asked. And our other sponsor, Peter Hart Graphics. Now, this guy has done most of, if not all of the graphics for the Dynamo's podcast network. Really good stuff, guys. Seriously, this is top quality stuff, and he doesn't charge a bomb for it, which is the greatest part. If you need any sort of graphic designed, it's peterhartgraphics@gmail.com. That's Peter, Peter, Hart, Harte, graphics, graphics @gmail.com. This guy is the easiest person I've ever worked with when it comes to making a graphic. You give him your ideas, he'll come back with something similar to what you wanted. And then if it might be exactly what you want, and if it's not, he is so open to criticism and tweaks, and he'll be back to you as soon as you give him what you want updated on that. This is easy stuff to get done. But actually, if you try to do it yourself, you'd realize just how difficult it is to make it look smooth and clean. Not a problem with Peter Hart Graphics. Check out his stuff on his Facebook page, Peter Hart Graphics.